Okay, so I don't know where else it went, but so he said for new shoes that do not have a box or has a damaged box, would you recommend repacking them in a generic brown box when the shoe still has a retail tag attached to it?
Shoes are very complicated. So, it really depends on what it is. If I had something like Nikes that didn't have a complete box with a lid, I would never send that as new. Because, people buy Nikes. I have seen some horrible feedback that people have gotten, just screaming because, they got Nikes and they expected them how they expect them, in the shoes and, the more expensive shoes. Now, the rule, I think, is that if it's an item that you think that people are going to be collecting, if there's any chance that it's a collectible type of any kind of item, shoe or any other consumer product, then I would be, very much against buying something that would be missing the packaging. Now, if you're selling flip-flops, you're selling Crocs, things like that, that may have come in a box, then, I would have no problem either removing the box or polybagging it or replacing the box. So, it really depends on the case. If it's something that people are just wearing as shoes, then, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If it's a higher end type item that people might collect, might want to save the box, you have to take, do that yourself. Now, I know several sellers who throw away every box, Nikes, and they say they've never had a problem. And there are some, I'm not sure if we posted in the group or not, but there are some business cards out there that people are printing that basically state, that to conserve space and to keep prices low and, to help the environment, we do not ship this product with a box. And if, you're unhappy with them, like, to return it, here's the instructions. It's a little two-sided business card, with a little environmental logo and all that. And they polybag every pair of shoes, and they just send them in, in the polybags. And they, and these are big shoe sellers who haven't had a problem. So, it can go either way. But, personally, we don't sell any of the higher end shoes, unless they're, and by higher end, I mean, I don't mean like expensive women's shoes. People probably aren't worried about the box, or a $200 pair of boots, but good gym shoes, Nike, Adidas, any of the collectible type shoes, those we wouldn't, and the lower end, shoes that aren't collectible, we've, of course we polybag all pairs of shoes, and I've bought pallets of shoes in the past, and none of them had boxes that we polybagged all of them to send into Amazon. But I would definitely at least polybag, and if you do want generic shoe boxes, I think we have a discount with what's that packaging place we have a discount with? Bubble Fast. Right, Bubble Fast has made a custom shoe box for FBA sellers, and we have a 10% discount there. And all that information, along with all the over 50 or so videos we've made and interviews we've done, are all in the pin post at the top of the Facebook group.
Yeah. Always check that pin post, because we have so many people that come to us and ask where, a video might be, or where to find the discounts, or where to, find all that. But at the top of your group, in the pin post, there's always the same post at the top. If you just expand it, you'll see the link, or, the click link for you to go to discounts, the videos, etc. So that's where everything always is. And I'll,
as well as every BOLO we've ever done from the beginning of the year, and the deals we were doing for BOLOs before then, are all there, archive versions of it, all our discounts that most members don't even seem to know about. Almost any tool that you would use for your FBA business are all included, you know, in your membership. So before you sign up for any new tools, I would definitely look there. We reviewed and interviewed, you know, members of almost all of the companies out there. So it's really a great wealth of information.
I don't know why these links that I'm posting from the, I think I have to like recalibrate my mouse or something, but for the last one as well, this last link, just go.
Right, because it's not a link. It's,
yeah.
It starts at /groups. There's no website or.
Yes, the link to use if you guys copy it into your browser, it just starts at HTTPS, so you can just use it from there. For some reason, my mouse is like not calibrating right. Yeah, that's right where it starts. Thanks. I have to like mess with it.
Okay, were there any other questions?
I didn't see any questions thus far. Kelly had hers, Ian had his. I don't think that we had anything.
Okay, well, yeah, so as an update, I think we've been talking about doing coloring books lately. I don't know if anybody's really jumped on this yet, but we definitely have. I went on to Upwork like I told everybody to do last week, and you know, I found, you know, people are doing artwork for literally, you know, practically free. So we created two separate offers. One to do a custom coloring book with 24 pages along a theme that we would tell them. And we did get a lot of offers. We also did one that I thought a great idea would be to do like an ultimate mandala coloring book. And I didn't see any that had like a lot of pages. People were just trying to do the bare minimum, 20, 30, maybe up to 50. So I thought if we did like an ultimate one on one theme for, you know, 100 images, that would be probably around a 200, you only print one side. So it would be about 220 pages, you know, with the introduction and, you know, information on the coloring book, and you only do one side of it. So, you know, I thought that would be a great size book for, you know, that we could do for a decent price. I looked, and to have them printed, it's only about $2.50. You know, if I order them, of course, if you're selling them through Amazon, you know, they're going to be taking them a bigger fee, sales, through sales and all that. So what we did was, you know, we took offers. There were a few people, of course, who wanted, you know, $1,000 or more. But for the most part, people from, you know, Europe and, you know, Asia, the Pacific Rim type countries, were all in the range of about $80 to $200, most of them hovering around that $100 number. And I did put in, my price range was $100 to $300, but a lot of people came in under that. So, you know, we did get about 15 people within 24 hours that came back and said that, you know, that made an offer on our project. So, you know, there was a lot of interest, and I'm sure if I would have let it keep going, you know, for a week or more, you can let the project go, the projects you post go for, I think, up to 30 days before they close. So, you know, I think it's going well. They, the main question I had to ask was how long would it take to come back with that? And the person, the woman we went with, said, I think she said about 13 to 15 days.
Yeah.
But by Wednesday, she'll have the first 10% done. So we're expecting to see that by then. And we hired, I think, on Saturday. So, you know, we'll see how all that goes. And, you know, I think it's going to be a great success. It's, you know, a little bit of money to put out. You know, there are a lot of coloring books, but I think the upside's way better than the downside. And it'll be very easy to make your money back, and you have unlimited potential. Once it starts selling, you really don't have to do anything. It's just going to continue to sell because, you know, it's a private, just like a private label product, but you're not going to have any kind of, you know, you can't have anybody competing with you, obviously, because it's a book. You're the only seller on, you know, Amazon will be the only seller on the listing. And you don't need a whole lot of, you know, you don't need any artistic ability, not a whole lot. You know, all you need is an idea, and you put it out there. You pay somebody to do it, and you know, there's templates already from CreateSpace. So all you're going to do is copy these pictures into the template for the book. Write your own introduction. Write, you know, your name. You know, there's tons of what we're going to do, which I think is going to go great. Is not only are we going to do the book, we're going to have a couple. We're going to take a couple of the best mandalas and we're going to put them on shirts, colored. And for the cover, we're going to have. We're going to go into some of the. There's a ton of coloring book Facebook groups, so we're going to have a contest. You know, to color the cover. And so people will be able to submit their names. We're going to get the, you know, everybody's going to hear about the book. People will be talking about it. So we're going to put the best one on the cover of the book, and then you know, with the name of the person who did it, and then we're going to give out the coloring. We're going to use maybe the top 3, and we're going to make T-shirts out of them. And we're going to give the winners, you know, a copy of the T-shirt, and then we'll create the shirts, of course, in advance before the book comes out. So we'll have links to buy the shirts in the book, and you know, it's going to be great promotion for the book, great promotion for the shirts, and it'll create a good buzz in the different groups. And you know, how much is it to give away a book and a couple of T-shirts? You'll be getting a lot more than that in free publicity. So I think it's going well, and you know, we can continue to do that. Almost everybody that applied already had either done stuff for coloring books or had plenty of line art to show us, and they already had links, you know, put together of you know, to showcase what they've done in the past for artwork. So these are real artists, you know, in other countries. You know, I'm getting pretty excited about that. You know, if anybody has any questions about, you know, putting together a coloring book, we did post the link, and if you send me a message, I'll add you to, you know, a good friend of mine that did the webinar, Jason. He does have a coloring book group. You know, they have a lot of people that keep joining for spam and things. So if you want to join the group, anybody can get in. Just let me know, and I'll personally add you to the group. You know, and there's a lot of people who have put out a lot of coloring books and have a lot of knowledge on that. So, you know, it's a great place to be if that's what you're interested in doing. So
Jimmy had a question.
Okay.
So he said he wants to know if you know why some of the items in Seller Central, he can just go to the sales page and press sell on Amazon, but some of them don't have it, and he has to add it through the add a product section. He just wasn't sure if you might know why that happens.
I really don't know. You know, that's been happening since we started selling on Amazon. You know, I don't know if anybody really knows, you know, the reason. You know, I've assumed, and I've noticed a lot of times, but not always, that it may be items that are, you know, items that may be gated, so not everybody could sell them. You know, I rarely see that happen in things like, you know, toys or books or categories that, you know, everybody can sell in, where you would have to log into Seller Central before you're able to do it. But I really don't know why, you know, and it's not really a problem for me. Just a moment. So You know, I don't list that way. I use Scan Power or, you know, sometimes Inventory Lab. So all we do is, you know, scan the barcode and then select the one that, that matches, usually the best, you know, the best sales rank, and we go from there. So I'm really not listing, you know, through Seller Central.
Right, that was the only one that came up in between the coloring books. Yeah, he said he notices the same thing. He just commented on it. One more question from Ian. In terms of hiring people for assisting with prepping and packing in the warehouse, where or who do you recommend looking for?
Well, I've been lucky, and I've actually only hired people that are either related to me or, you know, I've had business with before, you know, so I went, you know, basically hired everybody in my family, and then, you know, I had a good business partner in another business, and I hired his wife and his daughter, and then her sister and her other sister, and you know, we've done great as far as that. You know, I know it can be hard. I usually don't want to hire anybody with Amazon experience, although, you know, most of the people that work for me now sell on Amazon, and that's, you know, I really don't have a problem with that, but I don't want people, you know, who are already trained. And the same thing goes for VAs. You know, I don't want to hire a VA that is already, you know, experienced and was trained by somebody else. You know, really, I think for us, the best thing to do, you know, if you don't have somebody local, you know, friends or neighbors' kids, or, which is where most people seem to hire people to start, you know, hiring somebody, for prepping and packing is really probably the most, you know, menial minimum wage type job that, you know, that there is in our business, and the first thing that you should replace. So, you know, posting ads on Craigslist, you know, you're going to get a lot of responses, you know, and just work your way through that. I mean, there is a ton of people everywhere looking for jobs. You know, it shouldn't be too hard to get a lot of people applying. You know, really the cheapest way to hire somebody is to go, you know, through Craigslist. It's completely free, and you usually get a ton of inquiries. I mean, we've hired a lot of people in other businesses and, you know, other things that we've done through Craigslist. So, you know, usually most of those people are, you know, pretty knowledgeable. You know, if you put a sign up at a Walmart or a 7-Eleven, you're going to get a ton of people, or on a community bulletin board, you know, they have no idea how to use a computer, but, you know, people are looking on Craigslist, you know, they can at least, you know, moderately use a computer, use a phone, you know, something about something. Yes, we actually own a yard sale group, and I've recommended in past videos that, you know, other people start their own yard sale groups or places to buy and sell, you know, couponers to sell their stockpiles. Those are two great ideas for local Facebook groups. So then you can sell off, you know, your returns or whatever else, and you can regularly post in there that you're looking to buy, you know, basically anything new, sealed, still in date products. Same as we post on Craigslist. You know, so most of those people in those yard sale groups, you know, we don't allow those kind of ads in ours, but I mean, they pop up quite a bit, and I'm in, you know, dozens of local yard sale groups as well. You know, and I see lots of people posting, you know, that they're looking for jobs, you know, not usually people saying they have a job, but, you know, that would be a great idea as well.
Did you see Kelly's question?
What's that?
Did you see Kelly's question on Be Cool versus Manpower?
Yeah. Yeah, so ScanPower posted or sent an email to all their customers that they're going to have tiered pricing. So basically, everybody can try it for for free, and I think it's up to 50 items a month you can list, and the scanning is free, and all that other information. So I haven't had time to talk to Chris, and I know a lot of people in the ScanPower group had questions about what was going to happen, for people who are already members. So, it's really up in the air as far as that goes, but I think it'll be a great option for people who want to try it out that are not going to have, have to worry about paying for it. Of course, we had a free month, but, you can try it out, try all the features without subscribing to a plan. So I think it would be great, and we'll get all the kinks, I think, worked out of that. But as far as the repricer, ScanPower repricer is not a repricer in the way that we talk about repricers. It's more of a bulk repricing tool. So basically what happens is it brings up all the information, like it looks kind of like a spreadsheet format, line by line of all of your products, and you can search, of course, and all of that. But what's going to happen is you can bulk change the prices, however many it is, 50 at a time, and then you can submit all the changes, so you don't have to change prices one at a time. It's going to show competition and all the other information ScanPower Scout shows. So it's going to give you a little bit more information, but it's only a bulk repricing tool. It's not an automated repricing tool. So AppEagle and Be Cool and all the other repricers out there automatically change prices. ScanPower doesn't do that. It's only a product to reprice individual items, but in bulk. Rhonda was asking if you can list on Amazon UK with ScanPower. I'm not sure if you can list. I would expect that you can. I know you can list in ScanPower. I know you can scout in the UK, I think Spain and Canada and the US, and you can just go in your settings and change that. As far as the listing feature, I know you can do it in Canada and the US, so I would expect you can do it in the UK as well, but I'm not sure. And I know you have to have a separate, you would have to have a separate account for each one, because you link your, into the API, which you have to log in to the Amazon developer page and give them that information. So you'd have to have two separate accounts for each marketplace. You'd have to have a separate account for each marketplace that you were selling on.
You're all caught up on questions.
Okay, so yeah, and aside for that, we are working with a new company to try out ungating. I don't know if you guys seen my post about that in the group. So they did a special price for for 3 people, which sold out, pretty much immediately. And hopefully, if all that goes well, we can get some. They can get some reviews back from our members, and I know a lot of people were interested in health and or beauty, so that'll be the next thing that they work on, I assume, because it is pretty much the same, so I would say stay tuned for that. And of course, I'll be posting about that. I know there's quite a few people who are not ungated in all those categories, but if you're not ungated in a category, just find categories you are ungated in. If you're not ungated in anything, it's, there's tons of categories you can still sell in. And I think most people in the masterminds are ungated, but it's not at the end of the world. You don't have to spend every penny you have to get ungated. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. So if you're not ungated in clothes or shoes, there's tons of other categories. Even if you're not ungated in anything, there's plenty of things you can sell, and you can sell books, you can sell, toys most of the year, and, home and pets. There's plenty of categories. So, don't always constantly be focused on worrying about being ungated. I mean, it's, most of the messages that people randomly send me is, about ungating, and, it's part of doing business on Amazon, but, there's tens of millions of other products that you can sell that you don't have to be ungated. Yeah. Okay, and with that, next week we are not going to be doing one of these mastermind meetings, so if you have any questions, get them in now. We still have about 15 minutes. We are going, Valerie's flying to Florida with me, and we are, we're going to Scan Power Conference, and there's going to be a ton of great people there. Hopefully we'll be able to do some videos. There's quite a few members of the mastermind groups that are going to be there, and good times will be had by all. But it's going to be next Monday and Tuesday, so we won't be doing a video. We won't be doing a Zoom, of course, on Monday because of that. But there's going to be a ton of people there. Last year's was really what got me going to, to do the masterminds and to start helping people, and all the stuff that we've done, has been a real game changer for, for a ton of our members, and really, I have a Scan Power conference to thank for that. Conferences and networking are really something that's going to take your business to the next level. I really don't worry about the trade shows and conferences where, you're just there to, sell stuff. I look for local conferences, or not really conferences, trade shows, conventions, to find products. Places like ASD, is not the place, for me really, to go to, because, it's tens of thousands of Amazon sellers going there, to buy. So, and they're sellers who are selling tens of millions of dollars, a lot of them. So why would I want to compete with hundreds of different sellers to be able to buy from the same distributor? It doesn't make any sense to me for buying products. You should be looking at conferences for networking. The Chicago Ecom, which we'll be going to this year, is going to be sometime in October, and the Scan Power conference is really the best one of the year. But anywhere you can network with other sellers, local meetups, we host local meetups. We try to almost every month. We do, anything you can do to network with other sellers. That's how you're going to grow your business. You share a little information about what you do. They share what we do, what they do, and it really takes you to the next level. I learned so much last year. Not about selling on Amazon, but ways that all these other people were helping others to grow their business, and you know, it's really, you know, taking me to a new place. You know, anybody can buy and sell stuff, but, you know, when you can help people, help other people to, I guess, to buy and sell stuff, you know, it's really changed my life. So, so with that, I guess if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And you know, go ahead and PM me or Valerie if you have any questions during the week, and we'll be happy to help you.
Bye, guys.